In this video tutorial, we're going to edit a star trail image using two different stacking modes in Adobe Photoshop. Firstly, we need to open up our images. We're going to go File, Script, Load Files into Stack. In our dialog box, we're going to hit Browse, and then we're simply going to select our images and hit OK. Now that we have our image list, we're going to leave everything here alone and hit OK. Now our image stack is going to be opened up as layers in a single Photoshop document. Here are our stack of images. Firstly, we're going to select all by holding Shift and left click, and then we're going to add them to a folder. We're simply going to click on that folder and hit Ctrl J to duplicate. Now we're going to rename these folders, one for the foreground and one for the sky. Okay, I'm going to turn off the sky folder and we're just going to work on the foreground for a minute. So firstly, I need to cut off a few of these images where I've got this red light spilling into the image. I don't want that to show up in my final image, so I'm just going to go through and turn them off. And there's another one down here, and then I'm just going to go through and delete those so that they don't get stacked together with our other images. Now that we've done that, we can hit Shift and select all of our images again. Then we're simply going to right click and hit Convert to Smart Object. Once we have our Smart Object layer, we're going to come across to our Layer menu, come down to Smart Objects, and we're going to stack that with median values. So this is going to average the pixel values across all of those images, which will have the effect of cancelling out some of the digital noise within those images. So as you can see, we've got a nice, clean, noise-free image. And now we're just going to right-click and rasterize that layer. Turn back on our sky layer and we'll start working on that. So now all we want to do is select all of our sky layers and again, convert to Smart Object. And we're going to come across again to Layer, Smart Objects, Stack Mode. This time we're going to use maximum values. And that's going to bring all of the bright values from the stack of images to the forefront. And there are our star trails. So again, we're going to rasterize that layer. Now what we want to do is use a layer mask to reveal the star trails into our clean foreground. So what we can do is click on our foreground layer, come up to Select and use this Sky Selection tool. There's our selection. We can have a look and see how well it's done. It's missed some of the trees over there, but that doesn't matter too much because we're just blending it with what effectively is the same image. What we want to do now is turn that selection into a mask. So we're just going to hit Alt and click on our little mask tool down here, and that's going to add an inverted mask to conceal the sky and reveal the star trails from the layer underneath. If we then want to go and refine that mask, we can go to the Select and Mask module, and there we can see the black and white mask. All I'm going to do is boost the contrast. I'm just going to make the blacks darker and the whites brighter, and I'm just going to feather that by about half a pixel and output to new layer with layer mask just in case I don't like this selection, and hit OK. Now I'm just going to go over that and just make sure that I like it. That all looks pretty okay. Now all that's left to do is flatten that into one image. So I'm going to delete our unused layer and I'm going to hit Control, Shift and E to flatten that image. And there is our final image, which we can now save and take into Adobe Lightroom or Adobe Camera Raw to finish up the editing. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, leave a like or a comment below. Thanks again for watching, and clear skies.